Now, I'm going to get to my spotlight a little bit later on because we're going to get to one of our very first special guests. And they had a great win last night, 56 points to 6. The Dolphins up against the Dragons. And he's on the line. I think they've got a fan day today, the Dolphins. Great win, and his name's Jack Bostock. He had a great game again last night, and he's on the line. How are you, Jack?
No, good, thanks. How are you guys?
Going very well, very well. Congratulations last night, first and foremost. And you get one of the best seats in the house, you and the fullbacks. Fullback, when you're sitting out in the edges, you're looking at your forwards starting to dominate. What part of the game did you feel as though that, yeah, this is our night tonight, we're on?
Yeah, I think you mentioned it there. The forwards, I reckon they were real good. They were physical in defence, and they ran the ball well, and then everything sort of just played off the back of that. I feel like got to give a rap to Frankie and Felice, how they started the game. They were really good. They set a good foundation for the boys who come off the bench. So I think obviously the backs were scoring a lot of the tries, but the middles were doing a pretty good job in there too.
Jack, it's Adrian Prezenko. Can you talk us through that try that you scored? It was an AFL-style specky. Have you ever played Aussie rules, and has that been a part of your background at any stage of your career?
I played Aussie rules maybe once or twice in primary school, and we actually made it to the state final. But we had about 11 rugby league players in the team and 5 AFL players. But other than that, I've never played AFL before. Just you see a lot of the wingers doing it now these days. It's a pretty good skill. Obviously, Xavier coach, he's good at it, and then Marky Mark also, he gets up there. So it's a pretty good skill to have, and obviously I'm just trying to add it to my game now, but obviously not as good as them boys yet.
With your height, Jack, obviously you've got to be a target to identify, which Isaiya and Cody Nicarima do. But when it comes to positioning yourself, you're always going to come up against other tall wingers. But the art of positioning yourself, and also the way that you wingers are scoring tries now, throwing your body over the sideline and getting the ball in the field to play when you're scoring in the corner. How much practice of that is going on in your preparation throughout the week these days?
Yeah, no, 100%. You definitely got to practice it. After most sessions, obviously all the boys, all the outside backs, they get together and we have our own little sort of extra things that we do. Obviously, finishing's a big part of the game now. Like you said, a lot of the wingers are finishing some good tries on the end, and it helps to have a winger that can finish. So yeah, all the boys here at the Dolphins, we like to try to get our practice in with that, and then it helps when you got a crew of each other. You can sort of help each other, add little strings to the bow, and yeah, definitely practice it. It's not a fluke.
Jack, was it a bit more special doing it against your former club as well? And can you tell us a little bit about the circumstances of how you were identified and made the move up to the Dolphins?
It's not any more special against them. Obviously, I got a lot of mates that play in that team, and I got no love lost there for the boys that are in that team. They're all boys that I played SG ball with, a couple of them playing at the moment, so it was pretty cool to play against them. How it all come about, I was just playing SG ball for the Illawarra Steelers, and we versed Penrith one day, and Sean O'Sullivan went down there to watch Isaiya Katoa, and Isaiya didn't end up playing. He had a broken wrist, and Sean hung around and watched, and so he liked how I played, so he gave his old man a ring, and then his old man watched the next game, and then the rest sort of all flowed on from that, really.
Hey, Jack, now you just mentioned Isaiya Katoa. Take us inside a little bit of a backroom look into this young man who's so impressive with his tempo and how mature and classy he is. What goes into his week and around his preparation? Is he a real student of the game?
Yeah, no, he is. He definitely is. That's a great way to describe him. He's very down to the fine details of his game. For being so young, he knows a lot about the game already. Obviously, you can tell by the way that he plays. Like some of the stuff that he does for a 21-year-old, it's not normal. So he takes pride in his training and in his extras, and he's probably his own worst critic as well, which is probably what is his best attribute. He's always looking to improve and get better, which is great for him and obviously great for our team. The way he's playing has helped us so much this year.
Just with your height, you've become such a target on the wing, but is there any part of you that has an ambition to move into the centres? I've read something recently where you thought maybe that's something you'd like to switch to at some point in your career.
Yeah, for sure. Down the track, obviously at the moment we've got great centres, and I'm happy being on the wing in a side like ours. But yeah, maybe one day down the track I think that's on the cards. So we'll just see what unfolds.
Now, I love the Woolf family, Benny Woolf and Kristian Woolf. They're great guys, Mount Isa boys as well, and they've got a real tough exterior, but and have a great connection with the players as well, don't they, Jack? So after a win like that, just give us an insight into Kristian Woolf. How does he handle a win like that? Does he celebrate the wins in the dressing shed, or does he try and level everyone out and get everyone ready for the following week?
Nah, he knows how to celebrate a win. At half time, he made sure everyone was. Obviously, we had a fair lead at half time, but that was his first message: was the game's not over yet, and he didn't want us to get ahead of ourselves. So he kept it pretty straight and narrow there at half time. But then, full time he was obviously pumped. Like, it was a great win for the club, our biggest win ever, and it was probably one of our best games we've played. So it was he was pretty stoked after the game. Him and Benny Woolf, you know what they're like. They think they're these tough blokes or not.
Jack, there's so much excitement about expansion and the prospect of PNG and Perth coming into the competition. Did you have any qualms as a player going to a brand new club that, it's all been set up? Obviously, there was the attraction of playing with Wayne Bennett, but what were your thoughts going into that sort of situation and whether or not you wanted to sort of make the jump or had any concerns about it?
Obviously it had its risk coming to a club. You don't know what's going to happen, but the risk you're going to take. I feel like it was like everyone here knew that we were going to be all right, but I feel like there's a lot of people saying that obviously we weren't going to go too well in our first couple of seasons. But like you said, Wayne Bennett, he was obviously he's been around the game for 150 years now. So he knew what he was doing. That was definitely a big attracting point, and also Wolfie as well. Like, he was he'd won three or four Super League comps with St Helens, and he was coming here. Like, there was a lot of guys in positions that had been around the game a long time, and they had done well in their position. So it was obviously looked like the club was going to go in a great way. So I didn't really have to put too much thought into what was going to go wrong. I thought coming up here was probably the best decision for myself. And
he also had someone that's a little bit taller than him in Wayne as well. No, you'd have Wayne with height, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I got him with height. That's about all I've got him in.
Yeah. Now, this is your opportunity to promote one of your teammates. Now, I know you're a Blue, but Finefeuiaki, as a big mobile man that plays on an edge, convince Queensland selectors why he should be playing for the Maroons in 2 Wednesday nights' time.
Well, I don't think I need to do much convincing. If they've watched him play, they should probably know that he should be in there. I feel like he killed it. Obviously, coming to a new club at the start of the year, he took a few games to build into it, but I feel like now he's been one of the informed back rowers in the comp, I reckon. Obviously, he was in the 20-man squad game 1, so I feel like he's in the mix there for game 2, and I'd be so happy for him if he were to play. And being a Blues supporter, I'd be a little bit more worried about that Queensland side too.
You mentioned earlier Wayne Bennett, and obviously, as a journo, he seems like one of the most intimidating blokes ever. But then again, Kristian Woolf has got a boxing background.
Yep.
Who's the scarier of the two?
If it was depends. If it was a battle for words, I reckon Wayne. But if it was if it went past that, I'd be more scared of Wolfie than I would be of Wayne.
I reckon Wayne would have you. See, the good thing about it, you'd have the reach on Kristian Woolf, but Wayne, you got the sort of similar sort of reach.
I think Wayne will probably try out a bit quicker than Wolfie would, I'd hope.
Hey, now Wayne used to love what a lot of listeners probably don't and viewers don't understand with Jack about Wayne is that he loves to live vicariously through the players. So, he doesn't drink and doesn't party and so, but he likes to sit sort of up the back of the bus with a lot of the scallywags.
Yeah,
now, was he still doing that in his last year at the Dolphins?
Yeah.
And Kristian Woolf, is he a front of the bus man?
Yeah, Wolfie's the first seat on the bus, and Wayne was the last seat on the bus. So it's like two complete ends of the scale. So yeah, Wayne had his seat. It was the back right corner of the bus, and he always sat there. And if someone sat there, he'd let you know to get up and move. So it was pretty funny. Old Wayne, he had his spot and he stuck to it. And yeah, like you said, he doesn't drink, doesn't party. If we went for a coffee, he'd come and just have his little apple juice. Wouldn't drink coffee. But he was always there, and he was he's a great bloke, Wayne. Like he was so good for the start of my career, and I'm sure a lot of the boys here would say the same thing. He was great while we had him, and yeah, you hear all the stories about him, and they're all true.
Jack, it was a pretty tough start to the year. I think it was 4 losses to begin with, and obviously you've stabilised. You're now sort of in the 8 as we speak. Where's the club at the halfway point, and what are the goals for the rest of the year?
I feel like, like you said, obviously we started pretty rough, but I feel like we've done a fair job of getting ourselves back in. Are we in the 8 at the moment, or?
You are. Yes, 7th.
Yeah, we are. 7th. Yeah, there we go. So obviously, we had 4 losses on the trot there, and there was some pretty poor losses at the start of the season, which none of us were happy with. We knew that we trained and prepared way too well over the 6 months in the pre-season to come out and perform like that, and then we've turned it around. But I feel like obviously we're at a good point now, but we just need to get a few more wins and just keep building on it for the back end of that season to get in the 8, which has been our goal since we've got to the Dolphins, and it'd be great to do it this year.
Well, I think you're one of the most dangerous teams on paper when it comes to your back line, I should say. Another great win, Jack. You're going great yourself, and you got the Cowboys next Saturday night in Townsville as well.
Yeah.
Well done last night, mate. Great record-breaking win by the Dolphins over the Dragons, and good luck for the rest of the season.
No, thank you. Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me.